Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Shooters Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Matt at Post323. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. You can follow us on YouTube and also follow us on the socials at Shooters Lounge 3. And also, you can listen back to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. Game 4 was last night, guys, and it was OKC taking this one 111-104 in Pacers Arena, and it's 2-2, and we're now a best of 3. Big game that is mentioned on the last podcast for OKC, biggest game of the season, and they stepped up and they took this one, and now we are 2-2, and the home court is back with OKC. We're going back to OKC now for Monday night's game. So we'll see what happens with that. But reviewing this game, it was big pressure on OKC in this one, and they managed to. The MVP was the MVP, and he delivered the goods when needed, and the team delivered the goods when needed. So taking this one 111 to 104. Crazy game, really, guys. Lots of talking points, lots of happenings going on in here. The fourth quarter, OKC winning the fourth quarter 31-17. It looked a bit dicey at the end of the third quarter, guys. Not going to lie, I thought it looked like at some point that Indiana were going to run away with this, and it's going to be 3-1, and people are going to be wondering what the hell's happened to Oklahoma's great season. It's all gone up in smoke, but now that's all history, and now it's 2-2. And like I say, heading back to OKC Monday night. Some crazy stats coming out of this one, guys. I mean, SGA, 35 points, 15 of those coming in the fourth quarter. I mean, what else can you say? He delivered when they needed him to most. The fourth quarter, backs against the wall. End of the third quarter, it's 87-80. And you're thinking, you know, what's going to happen here, guys? And OKC, you know, backs against the wall, and they come out and they got the job done. And the MVP was the MVP. Hit some great shots, getting to his spots where he needed. Found things a little bit easier than he did, I think, in the last game. Indiana did a really good job in making things really difficult for him in the last game. But I found that this game, especially in the fourth quarter, he got to his spots a lot easier, and was able to see this one out, guys. Obviously, he didn't do it all on his own. He had help. Big 20 points off the bench by Alex Caruso, and also the Jalen Williams experience continues, guys. Up and down game. Last game, not very good. This game, he was very, very good. It's probably one of his best games of the playoffs for me. He had 27, 8 of 18, and also went to the line 11 times, which I think this was a theme for the game, guys. There was a lot of free throws in this one. I mean, OKC had 38 attempts in this one to Indiana's 33. There was a lot of free throws happening in this one, and also got some great defensive play. OKC looked like that defensive team again, especially in the fourth quarter. Made things really difficult for Indiana and took them out of their rhythm. I think especially the second quarter and the third quarter, I think OKC were playing to Indiana's pace, and so but I think in the fourth quarter they found a way to slow it down, because I think the slower the pace, the advantage is going to be to OKC if the pace is slowed down, because Indiana just want to play up tempo and up and down and make it a track meet, as they say. So that doesn't favor OKC. I don't think the slower the pace, they could with the game slowing down, they can really set the defense up and can make it impossible at times for other teams to score. And this is what they did in this one. Chet Holmgren, 14 points, big 15 rebounds. But if you look at some of these stats, guys, OKC only had 11 assists as a team, which that sometimes there's some players get 11 assists on their own, don't they? So unbelievable stat wise, and also 3-pointers made. They only had 3-pointers, which again is unheard of, really. If you said those two stats at the start of the game, people are saying, well, OKC aren't going to win. But like they say in football a lot, it's a funny old game. But it doesn't matter, and this one's in the books. So looking at it from Indiana's point of view, they got quite a decent game. Well, a good first half by Siakam, I think, but at half time, I think he had 14 or 15, only ended up with 20, ended up with 6 of 15, but had 5 assists, 5 steals, which, again, it's a bit of a well-rounded game by him, really. 8 rebounds as well, but unfortunately, I think he had 1 shot or 1 more bucket maybe in the fourth quarter. So they kind of went away from him. I don't think they really know. OKC found it really tough to guard Siakam. They haven't really got that guy who can keep Siakam quiet, but they kind of went away with him in the fourth. But I think that's testament to OKC and what they did. Tyrese Halliburton, 18.7 assists, 5 turnovers, 7 of 15, only 1 for 7 from 3. So struggling there. Obi Toppin had a pretty decent game, had 17 coming off the bench. Mathurin had 8. McConnell 8, just kind of chipping in kind of thing. But I think in the fourth quarter, Indiana, they really just become unstuck and became a real ISO heavy team, guys. And the offense, especially the last 5 or 6 minutes, really come unstuck. And they found it really difficult. It was getting to like less than 10 seconds on the shot clock, and they hadn't even got past the 3-point line at times, guys. So it's so difficult to score in that environment. It's so intense, really difficult. But a testament to OKC, really, and how hard they worked as a team defensively, and also and OKC made shots down the stretch when they needed to. People have made a lot about SGA and Jalen Williams being in the pick and roll action, which you haven't seen much of. That they really give Indiana problems, as good as Naismith and Nembhard and them guys have been. They just put in Halliburton in those kind of situations. And I think Halliburton's kind of been maybe passable on defense, but I think he struggled late on in this one. Being put in that pick and roll action. So it's a tough one. Strange things happening in this one, guys. I mean, it started getting a bit testy in the second quarter. These teams, you get to game 4 and you start to get, like they said on the commentary, you start to get annoyed by everything and everyone now. So this is where we're at. Game 4 of the finals, it's starting to get a little testy. There was a couple of flagrant fouls, which I think the one on Toppin for me was ridiculous decision. I think that the refs kind of wanted to put their stamp on this one, and I think they made their intentions known, I think, really early. I mean, in the first quarter, there was 19 free throws combined in the first quarter alone, which is crazy, really, for that amount of fouls. Scott Foster, likes to insert himself into these games and make it about himself. And he did a pretty good job of that. There was a push with Dort on Halliburton. There was a bit of you want to call it an elbow or a brush off or whatever you want to call it. But definitely getting tested now, guys. This is it. This is end of the season. Season's on the line. Championships there for the taking, and these teams are really gonna just, like I said, just getting sick of each other maybe a little bit, or they want to win, the willingness to win and all that. So it's something that's gonna take note going forward. See if that continues. But the refs definitely wanted to make their intent known was to, they were calling a lot of fouls that probably weren't being called in the first 3 games. Now we're all of a sudden are going to be, and is that going to be advantage to OKC? Probably, I would say probably so. Obviously, with the amount of free throws that Alexander and Williams have taken, they took 21 free throws between them. So yes, I suppose people call Shea a foul merchant. I just think he gets fouls within the rules of the game, and he's a crafty player, and I think a lot of players over the years have made livings out of that. James Harden, for one, Trae Young, Chris Paul, they've made livings by doing this. I don't think he's doing anything much different than them guys, really. So to call him a foul merchant, really, I don't know. I don't really agree with that. He's just getting the fouls that the rules allow, and he gets to his spots, and he knows where he wants to be. And once he gets that player on his hip, then he knows, it's if he can pull up or he's going for an easy 2. I just think that's how a lot of players play now. They're very crafty. Players are probably craftier than they ever have been. So I don't really agree with the foul merchant thing. I just think he's playing as the game is now and how it's officiated. So I don't really fall into that one. So yeah, after the first quarter, I think it was score. What was it? Where are we going? It was 34-35 to Indiana. Like I say, 19 free throws. Siakam made a very strong start, 10 points, but also Jalen Williams as well with 12. He looked really good, getting to the basket, some nice lefty layups, and just looked to getting to his shot. Sometimes he seems very tentative out there, but really looked like he wanted to make a conscious effort tonight of really getting out there offensively and really setting the tone for himself. And then second quarter, like I say, guys, the refs kind of wanted to make it their show. I think there was 33 throws combined at halftime. And I've noted down OKC 1 3-point made and 6 assists at halftime, which again, guys, is just it's kind of one of them things that make you look twice, look back at it and kind of blink, and you're like, that can't be right. I needed to go fact check that one. NBA.com wasn't updating correctly, but no, it definitely was correct. So tough one. Then the third, I felt like Indiana were really finding a groove, and they were really pushing the ball, playing at their pace. OKC didn't seem like they knew what to do, or they couldn't really stop Indiana offensively, and the Pacers were getting into the paint. When they're doing that, they're very tough to beat. They get into the paint. If you're not rotating around, stopping the layup, they're kicking it out for a 3. And I think the third ended 87-80 to Indiana. It was a real point, and this was a real gut check time. This was like, that's when I started thinking, oh my God, the Pacers, are we on the verge here of going up 3-1? Which a lot of people had, Thunder in 4, Thunder in 5 in this one, guys. But I think the Pacers have shown that they deserve to be here, and they've really give it a good go, and a fair play to the Pacers for they're in this. It's 2-2 now, and even before the game they were up 2-1, but looking to go 3-1. Obviously, we only know one team who's come back from that, so a lot of people wrote Indiana off beforehand, but I think they're showing that they're giving OKC everything they can handle, and OKC had to really dig deep for this one. So credit to both teams. So yeah, like I say, fourth quarter, backs to the wall. OKC, it's sink or swim. This is real gut check time. So what are you going to do? And OKC coming out, winning the fourth quarter, 31-17, and then coming out with the victory. Like I say, that defense was just at times so stifling, and Indiana couldn't even get into their offense, and it's 9-10 seconds left on the shot clock. It's sometimes even less. They had some 24-second violations. Just unbelievable defense. Dort and everybody, all of them, all the guys on OKC, they were all flying around everywhere. Caruso and Chet coming up, rebounds, a few blocks and things, and the turnover battle was very level. It was 13-15. Indiana just a couple more turnovers. Bench points again was quite level. Was 36 to Indiana, 27 to OKC. So in the last game, the bench points were just massive for Indiana, but OKC with Caruso with 20 big points really kind of leveled that playing field. And there was only a day's rest between this one, guys. So, but it was the same for both teams. So I don't, does that favour OKC because they play a slow pace? But excuses are not, mate. This is the finals, man. Talk's cheap. So I don't really buy into that at all. And this is it. This is the pinnacle of the NBA, and excuses, talk is cheap, and excuses or not, it's put up or shut up, and so OKC come out with a victory. Last thing I'll probably say, guys, is the OKC's defense was so good that the Pacers were kind of just going ISO ball, really, and it was a lot of Halliburton dribbling on the 3-point line, trying to find an avenue, trying to get into the paint or just before. They couldn't do it, and it ended up being 3 contested threes, which that's not Indiana's game, and kind of played into OKC's hands really in that regard. So not a great game probably, from Miles Turner. I mean, he had 12 points, 3 for 10, but 0 from 6. He missed a lot of, well, I say a lot, 6, obviously 6. But some of them were decent shots and and shots that we have seen him make, but unfortunately not tonight. Not last night, as I said. So it's, like I said, best of 3, guys. And we're going back to OKC now on Monday evening. So we're going to see what happens to that now. It's best of 3. 2 of the games are on OKC. And I think we've seen what OKC are like at home during these playoffs. I think they've only lost twice. Denver, Indiana have already won one there. So, Indiana, I think, have still got to have that belief that, they could still win this. They're still in this. It's 2-2. It's not, it's disappointing. You could have. Do you feel like that game kind of slipped away? It's over now, man. Game 4's done. You've got to look at Game 5 now. And we all know how important Game 5s are, guys, when it's 2-2, whoever wins that more than likely is going to come out on top. So my prediction of Thunder in 6 is still alive. So we're still going on that, guys. A lot of people's bets have already gone with Thunder in 4 or 5. So we'll see how that figures out. So. But we'll definitely be back, guys. We'll do a review of Game 5, which is on Monday night, early Tuesday morning for us UK folk. But we'll definitely do a review pod for that one as well. Maybe straight after the game, or it might be the day after, guys. I'm not going to lie, I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully. I might have a guest on because I'm not a massive fan of doing these on my own, but it's the finals, man. Got to, put up or shut up, like I said earlier. So that goes for me as well. So, that's it then, guys. Thanks very much for watching or listening. Much appreciated anybody who supports. So give us some retweets, give us some likes, give us some shares, guys. It's really appreciated anybody who does that for us. Yes, so we'll be back in a couple of days, guys. Only a couple of days. The games keep coming thick and fast. So by the end of next week, we will have an NBA champion, whichever way you look at it. So we will see who comes out on top. So take care, guys. We'll be back in a couple of days with what's gone on in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So I'm Matt at Post Up 323. So you can follow us on the socials at Shooters Lounge 3 guys, and also watch this on YouTube and follow it on and also listen, or you can watch on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. So take care, guys, and we'll be back again very soon. Thanks very much.